What is up, everybody? I'm No Lex Given, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game that has a very special place in my heart because it's actually my first win after getting back from the hospital after having my heart attack. I did play a little bit in the hospital as well on my phone. Didn't go so great. And then when I got back, I was tired. I was a little bit rusty after not really playing the game for so long. And overall was just struggling for a few days until I played this game. So this game just did a lot for my mental. I wanted to share it with you guys for a few reasons. The other reason that I wanted to share it, and I kind of spoiled this game the other day, but I'm 4-0 currently at the start of this game on Goldilocks. I have 4 first place finishes, 0 other finishes below that. I have won every single Goldilocks game. So maybe that's all I needed. Maybe I didn't need, some time to shake the rust off. Maybe I just needed to find Goldilocks again, my gal, and do that to start winning. But we're going to have a pretty nice start here. Getting to pick up a golden chicken is always very nice on Goldilocks. So that way we can purchase 3 characters on 3.0, and we'll also pick up a lonely prince and just throw some sugar and spice on that. Could have rolled instead and tried to find a royal to flip the lonely prince, but no matter, we are going to be able to grab a Cinderella here, so I'll pick that up alongside the baby root, and that'll give us a pretty nice board for 2.2. We've got a 6-9 as well as a 2-5 and a 2-2. But yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about that at the start of the game, just so that way you guys know the context to everything that I've shown on the channel up until this point, for the most part, has been pre-heart attack, other than the cover-to-cover tournament games. Those were after this, actually. And after this game happened, it really did build up my confidence a lot, just like in and out of Storybook Brawl. Not that I want to tie that much of my self-worth to the game, but it just said, you know what, I'm still No Lex Given, I can still do it, and I can still hang and play these games that I love, and that doesn't have to be something that goes away for me, because that's something, is always going to be on your mind, that you're always going to be a little bit afraid. There was certainly a time where, and I do feel like I'm getting better every day, but there was like a period where, you just, your mind is doing so many other things, you feel like you can't concentrate on things, and you're not going to be as mentally savvy as you were before all of that medical stuff happened. But feeling good, and after grabbing this win off of my belt here, yeah, sure, feeling even better. So we are going to go ahead on 3.1 and cast a worm root onto that ogre princess, and then I just pick up a sleeping princess. I thought that might be a cool character to pick up as well, because we are kind of ahead right now, and I know I'm going to want to cast some additional spells because we have the Spellweaver and because we have Cinderella. Though once I wind up rolling into this shop, I kind of regret it. I'm like, okay, I think we can make our board a little bit stronger this turn even by selling off the Sleeping Princess. And because we can triple up on the Mummy, I kind of know what I'm going to be purchasing next turn, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be flipping this Sleeping Princess anytime soon. So I sell that off, pick up the Stag, and then next turn we will try to pick up both of those other pieces to the Mummy puzzle and grab ourselves a tier 3 treasure and see what we can do with that one. And we're looking pretty strong here, though my opponent does have a Queen of Hearts. That's going to be a little bit awkward. We wind up cracking into our prized pig. But this isn't the important turn. Next turn is the important turn where we will be able to level up, and where we'll want that prized pig gold especially. So that way we can try to grab a just additional cash to buy tier 4 characters. So that's the idea. Gonna go with the Fancy Pants on the 3.2 turn. Basically, I just really like Fancy Pants with a lot of level 4 units, basically putting it on any dragons, friendly spirits, and then Sporko or Lady of the Lake. Any of those characters, I think, really appreciate a Fancy Pants buff. Might be missing one, I guess, like Amy could also appreciate it just because she's a ranged character. So gonna go for that over the treasure map and grab some more immediate power rather than looking into the future. Playing up against Celestial Tiger, and they're looking reasonably strong enough, unfortunately, to crack our prized pig, so we don't get the bonus gold, but there is kind of a cute way to grab bonus gold this turn. That's by using these Hermes magic beans to flip over Cindy and then skipping the treasure. We could just skip the treasure here and pick up 3 characters. However, I really like Dragon's Nest. It's awkward because there's no dragons in the shop, and I would have loved to pick up the Dragon's Nest on 3.2, and then I feel like I would have been rewarded with a bunch of Cinderella dragons. But even so, I'm going to pick up the Dragon's Nest because I just think that it's so good once you hit level 4, trying to grab Feasting Dragon and Lightning Dragon with +5/+5 each. Just winds up being a very strong way to grab tempo into the mid-game. So after doing that, I am just going to wind up picking up a few things from this shop. I pick up the Friendly Spirit with the Fancy Pants, I think I said that, and then I pick up an Amy and a Fanny to support that Amy. Not going to wind up playing the prized pig this turn. We'll just play basically as strong of a board as excuse me, as we can possibly think of. I have mentioned this in some previous videos, but I'll just say it now as well because I did just cough. That is a reaction to one of my medications. So hopefully that's something that gets straightened out in the future. But for now, hopefully it's just not too big of a distraction while you are watching the channel, that you can bear with it. I'm sure it's annoying. Believe me, it's more annoying for me. So here what I wind up doing is, I guess I roll the die first. I kind of didn't even remember that part. But basically, the roll the die is like kind of free. And the idea is we've got 2 pairs in the shop. We've got an Ogre Princess and a Friendly Spirit. But I'd again potentially like to put the Fancy Pants buff onto the Friendly Spirit. There's also the added bonus of potentially slaying with Feasting Dragon and then getting another Feasting Dragon trigger onto the Friendly Spirit as well. Looks like that will be the case. So, that's the reason to lock onto the Friendly Spirit there on 4.1. Not a level up turn, just a good time to do it. And then my ranged characters are going to be able to clean it up in the back line and grab us a tie. So we're looking pretty strong once we pick up this Friendly Spirit, and we even got a free Lightning Dragon off the Ogre Princess. So pretty sweet stuff. I wind up selling off Ogre Princess. Probably should have just sold off like Frog Prince or something. But I knew I wanted to sell off some stuff to make room on our bench to pick up this Dragon and Friendly Spirit. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast this Wish Upon a Star. And at this point, I really want to win the combat this turn because we've got the Wish Upon a Star. We'll grab a free XP if we can manage to find a win. Our 5.0 shop isn't super impressive. We don't find any dwarves, but Cupid is just like a good tempo unit that could potentially allow us to win. So I'm going to hope that Cupid can do some magic here. I could have sold my bench and purchased an additional Cupid to replace the mummy. Maybe that would have been a good option. My opponent has a full ranged backline anyway, so it doesn't matter too much, but hopefully we can still get the win. We get the slay in there with the Feasting Dragon. The mummy winds up going on the wrong target though, and then the Brave Princess attacks into the wrong target as well. So 71% chance to win that one, and unfortunately we got a tie. So no bonus XP, that is a little bit unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and pick up that second Cupid now, and then I'm going to bet on myself. I really think we should have won that last combat, so I'm going to hold out hope that we can win this one, and I'm going to use this reckless wager here. And then this is kind of a weird play, and watching back, I'll be honest, I don't fully understand exactly why I did this. I'm basically just locking for Lucky Coin here, and I cycled through a blind mouse in order to lock onto a Lucky Coin. It's actually not that bad. I'm just surprised that I did it because I'm not excuse me, I'm not planning on purchasing anything from this shop, especially with 3 pairs currently on the board. I don't need to like purchase a Lady of the Lake or a Medusa or anything like that. So from that perspective, this play is kind of weird, though mathematically I think it kind of works out because I clear the shop and then with the lucky coin I'm able to give myself a free roll. So I don't know, kind of interesting. We get the win thanks to the huge Cupid, and that'll give us some bonus gold from the reckless wager, and then I pick up this lucky coin and now I'm just going to roll for some pairs and some triples. So I do want this lightning dragon, I'm going to pick that up. Should have sold the Sporko or the mummy or something for that probably. And I'm going to correct that mistake now by picking up a golden chicken here. But I could have had 2 golden chickens and then maybe tripled that or something else. But next turn is going to be that 6.0 turn. So big preps for that. If we can triple the Cupid, find a Hand of Midas, that would be really cool. We are going to wind up grabbing a tier 4 treasure here by selling everything in our hand. And from there, I'm going to grab Evil Eye. It's a little bit weird. I could go Fool's Gold. Coin of Sharon also has potential, could work with Doom Breath or Good Boy. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to find some supports next turn. It's a little bit of a speculative pickup, though, to be totally sure. We'll see how it winds up working out, if it's good or not. Playing up against a pretty big Mage Celestial Tiger. Let's see what is in their books and what spells they have for us, and we're going to wind up just barely losing that one to a Baba Yaga with 1 health. Really, really close combat, but I asked for supports and I got them. Double Empress P is really, really cool and really powerful here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up both of those. Slight mistake, because I also want this Green Knight. So just like I did earlier on in the game where I locked the Friendly Spirit for a turn, what I should have done here is picked up Empress P and Green Knight and then locked onto the other Empress P. That way it would have been able to get the second Fancy Pants buff, and it potentially could have gotten some buffs from Feasting Dragon. The other thing that I could have done is cycled through the Hi-Ho and just paid 3 to purchase that and then sold the unit that I got off of that. So some small things that I could be optimizing here, but let's cut me a little bit of a break. It's my first game back, and I think I'm doing pretty well to have made it this far. 26 health, looking pretty good near the top of the lobby, and a pair of Empress Ps alongside an Evil Eye. I'm feeling pretty good about what we've been able to put together here. We don't actually get a Slay with Feasting Dragon because those are both backlines, so that's okay. We'll just pick up this Green Knight now and start to actually play some support characters and see what else we can find. And it's just tough to pass up a Feasting Dragon. I'm not super interested in like the tier 4 treasures at this point. We already have Evil Eye. I'll take Coin of Sharon though. And it actually is kind of interesting, and I'm going to try to be a little bit silly with it. I'm not going to play either of my Lightning Dragons. 1, I just cut my Dragon's Nest, and 2, I don't want that Coin of Sharon to land on either of my Lightning Dragons. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to put both of my Empress Ps in positions 1 and 2, so that way hopefully they have a little bit more chance to die. It'll probably be the Friendly Spirit that dies first, though, putting that in position 3. And then awkward to have this newly purchased Feasting Dragon in slot 4, but I don't want to put the Cupid there, and I just want to try to maximize my chances of my Empress Ps dying. So a little bit silly, we'll see how it goes. And we are up against the... Actually, this Puffy was the lobby leader. They've just dropped down to 12 health and are not looking particularly strong, but you can see we actually do get the Coin of Sharon bonus on our first Empress P. So that worked out really, really well for us. We now have a huge Green Knight that's able to clean up the combat. And I probably want some more support characters to go along with that. So I'm going to pick up a Lady of the Lake. That seems pretty good. And maybe I'll play double Cupid. Maybe I will play a 4th slot Cupid, or I could play something like this. A lot of different options for what we could do here. But ultimately, I am going to wind up picking up this Empress, not this Empress P, this Lady of the Lake, and then I do pick up another Empress P. We get the triple on that. And we get 3 really powerful treasure options. Pandora's Box, really cool with Empress P, because you could get Mirror Mirror, but we could also just go Phoenix Feather and try to resummon the Empress P in that way. And then Owls was also an option. +2/+2 to the Empress P each turn. Ultimately, I think that this is going to serve us the best, so this is what I go for. And then I go for a Mix-a-Whizzle on the Feasting Dragon, which your mileage may vary on that one. I'm not sure if that was worth doing, but it's going to get Pigomorphed regardless. It really doesn't matter. We can see that this Celestial Tiger has quite a powerful comp. They've got Hat Ball as Celestial Tiger, and then also a Mirror to start resummoning all of these powerful mages. New art on the Mirror there. We do have some really big ranged characters in the back, so we've got a shot, but so does my opponent have some really big ranged characters in the back. And then they also have a Croc that's going to house some scamming in it. So we do end up taking a little bit of damage there, a little bit unfortunate. And I'm thinking we can potentially still greed against this Share Bear. It's a little bit crazy, but I do think that this Celestial Tiger is going to be our finals opponent, and picking up a free tier 5 treasure was just too much for me to pass up. So I wind up going for that, but I really don't need tier 4 treasures, like I said, so I'm going to go for a Dream Spell to finish off the turn. And Rumpelstiltskin, when you are already level 6, is a pretty cool hero power to pick up. We'll have double the gold next turn. We can even sell off a few of our dragons or something. We could also potentially skip the Lancelot treasure, and that would give us some additional gold there as well. But we'll see how this goes. My opponent does Pigomorph us. I was thinking about Pigomorphing them, but ultimately wound up not doing it. And our Friendly Spirit really luckily lands on that Empress P, which is absolutely huge because that means Empress P is going to be guaranteed to be our Phoenix Feathered unit, though we were already kind of bigger than my opponent regardless. So we were doing okay. And then the tier 5 treasures, excuse me, I do think Ambrosia is going to be enough. Just Ambrosiaing that Green Knight seems like it will be powerful enough. And then I'm going to go for this Spinning Gold. Let's sell off some dragons first. Not going to sell off anything else. We'll just go with 30 gold for the turn. I thought that that would probably be enough here. And get to use some of that gold to pick up another Empress P plus another Green Knight. So that's looking really good. At this point, we're probably cutting both of these Cupids, and I'll just pick up a Golden Chicken. We're running a little bit low on time, and then we find a Good Boy. But I'm realizing before we pick up this Good Boy, we should look for Hand of Midas from the Cupid triple. We get it. I sell off the Golden Chicken, and now we've got an upgraded Good Boy to add to this board. I don't get to put it in the perfect position for this combat, but we're up against the Ghost. That's fine, and I feel like we just hit a huge power spike with that play this turn. And then still have the Phoenix Feather. Phoenix Feather is pretty likely to not resummon the Empress P when we have that Friendly Spirit in the first position, though we'll move some things around this turn and that'll look a little bit better. I'll also pick up a triple for Green Knight, and we'll be able to grab a Mimic Chest, which adds a whole bunch more stats to the board, because now we are going to be tripling all of our support bonuses, and the Empress Ps get even more stats out of that. I'd really love to find another support character, but we're running low on gold. I don't want to play an evil support character like Baba Yaga, so I'm just not going to worry about it. We will take this Fog to fog the Celestial Tiger for what's probably the final combat of the game. And then of course we also have a Mimic Chest Phoenix Feather. So one thing that I do here is I switch around my Green Knight with my Lady of the Lake, hoping that that will be enough that Lady of the Lake is what resummons off the Phoenix Feather rather than the Green Knight. So we'll see how that goes. Good Boy's going to give a ton of stats to the rest of the board, but my opponent has found a 9th Book of Merlin. 9th Book of Merlin Mirror is really scary. They're able to scam my Green Knight, but that's actually kind of okay for me because Green Knight was going to resummon with the Phoenix Feather Mimic Chest, and now it's going to be the Lady of the Lake again, which has a ton of health. I just have to avoid the scam, and my opponent still has a ton of scam potential here with these absolutely massive mages, but we don't get scammed. We're able to resummon double Lady of the Lake and take the Celestial Tiger out. I was super shocked we were able to win that one. I don't know what the percentages were because my opponent had a Captain Croc, so I don't know if I was supposed to win that battle. I think I wasn't and actually just got really lucky, but either way, I'll take it. That is another win in the books for Goldilocks, and like I said, my first win post-heart attack, which really did a lot. And to talk about that a little bit more, I wound up playing a whole bunch more after this. This was still in October that this game was played, and I didn't quite make the top 100 Storybook Brawl players for the month, but I got to 101. So I was very, very close to breaking into the top 100. And then, of course, I had to try to play a little bit more to break into the top 100, and I wound up falling down and then just playing and having fun. But really, really close to the top 100 after. You can see at the start of this game, we are only at 4K. So I played a whole bunch more after this, and yeah, definitely started to, like I said, feel like the old no luck's given again. And because of that, I've got a bunch of really sweet games to showcase over the next few weeks, and hopefully, like I said, daily uploads can continue forever. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Luck's Given. Peace.